So for the next deck, we're going to take a look at, I'm just calling Vito Standard. Now for this deck, I wanted to abuse the new card, Vito Thorn of the Dusk Rose. Vito says, legendary creature, vampire, cleric for 2 colorless and a black, or 1/3. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. For 3 colors, double black, creatures you control gain lifelink until end of turn. So, Vito really obviously shines in a life gain style deck, but also very, very aggressive because late game, if you have multiple creatures to swing with, you don't necessarily have to hit through to the face to win the game. Giving your creatures lifelink and just gaining that life could be enough. So in Standard, one of the more powerful cards to have with Vito is Sorin. Sorin says as long as it's your turn, creatures and planeswalkers you control have lifelink. So your attacking creatures are already given lifelink without having to pay 5, which is Vito's effect, which is very good. Also, if your opponent kills your Vito, you have the ability to bring it back. But that is not all we are bringing back. Now, this deck is basically a mono white package. So we're playing 1 L-Seed of Life's Bounty. I'm just playing 1 to test and see if the lifelink is better from this than just playing Selfless Savior. The Selfless Savior has a free sack ability, so we do not have to hold up mana. It does not have lifelink, but not having to hold up mana could be much better. Again, this only gives indestructible, whereas this allows us to punch through if we need to, giving us protection from a color. Like the last deck, I'm playing 1 Giant Killer. Again, it's good to have main deck removal. Having 1 Giant Killer just ensures us against some big creatures, and the tap ability is very relevant. We're playing 4 Healer's Hawk, 1/1 flying lifelink. The evasion, the lifelink, it does a lot what this deck wants to do. 4 Speaker of the Heavens. This is another new card, and I love this card. This card is phenomenal. I've had so much fun with it. So it's a Vigilance lifelink for 1 mana. It's a 1/1. But what it says is you can create a 4/4 White Angel creature token with flying if you have gained at least 7 or more life than your starting life total. So 27 and above. You can attack in and then tap afterwards to make angels. If we're playing Lifegain, we're playing Ajani's Pridemate. Of course, whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Ajani's Pridemate. We're playing 3 Daxos. Daxos is a legendary enchantment creature, so you can only have 1 on the battlefield at a time, which is why we're playing 3 instead of 4. Its toughness is equal to our devotion to white, but what it says is whenever another creature you control enters the battlefield or dies, you gain a life. So with Daxos on the battlefield, with Speaker of Heavens, every time we attack, we gain life. We tap, we make angels, we gain life. We're gaining a lot of life. Why you want to play Lifegain in the first place is this All-Star Heliod Suncrowned. I can't tell you how many matches I have lost because I could not deal with Heliod. Heliod is a enchantment creature, so it just sits on the battlefield as an enchantment until you have 5 devotion to white. And what devotion means is this white mana symbol up in the top corner. 5 of those. Whenever you gain life, you put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control. For 1 colorless and a white, you can give another creature lifelink until end of turn. I have 2 Gideon Blackblade. Now, Gideon's Tick Up ability allows you to give your choice of Vigilance, lifelink, or indestructible, and it doubles down as a little bit of removal later on after we've put a few counters on it. Linden provides 3 devotion to Heliod and also is a 3/3 Vigilance that whenever a white creature you control attacks, you gain 1 life to trigger everything that we have. And then we're just playing 3 Conclave Tribunal. We're playing a ton of 1-drops, and Convoke is amazing with cheap creatures. It makes the mana cost essentially free. We're playing 4 Castle Ardenvale. It's going to be triggering Daxos. It's going to provide us with creatures to go wide. 12 Plains, 4 Godless Shrine, and 4 Temple of Silence. And in the sideboard, we have Light of Hope. You can gain 4 life. Again, to trigger your life gain triggers, destroy target enchantment, or you can put a 1/1 counter on target creature. As our graveyard hate card of choice, we're playing Apostle of Purifying Light. It has protection from black. And for 2 mana, we can exile a target card from a graveyard. Devout Decree, exile target creature planeswalker that's red, black, or red, and we get to scry. Hushbringer, creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. It can, at certain times, obviously, come back against us. I'm playing 2 Luminous Broodmoth as an idea I had for something basically anti-sweeps. Sweepers, even though we are playing a couple Sorin, we're not playing, Luris, we're not playing Call of the Death Dweller. So I wanted to try Mothra as a 3/4 body that also, when our creatures die, they re-enter with flying. We're playing 1 Wanderer, we're playing white, so I'd like to have at least an answer to, again, Zenith Flares and Expansion Explosions in the sideboard. 2 Elspeth Conqueror's Deaths, get back whatever we need, and just to deal with Planeswalkers, to exile them to just any permanent that costs more than 3 converted mana cost. And then 1 Heliod's Intervention. Heliod's Intervention is kind of a fun card because essentially if you have Vito on the battlefield, you can gain twice X life and just deal a big fireball blast to your opponent's face. It also destroys X target artifacts and or enchantments. So let's dive into some matches and see how it feels. Hopefully it feels a little bit better than the last deck. Okay, so we're going to be on the draw. Kind of an expensive hand. I mean, we have 2 mana, we need 1 more, and we are on the draw, so we are going to keep this. But it would be nice to have some more 1-drops in our aggro deck. Okay, so with the Temple, we're probably playing that on 2. We want to get the Hawk out. Stomping Ground doesn't really say much, but they could be aggressive, so we do want to be able to start gaining life. Okay, so now we have a really difficult decision. We have a tapped land, and if we play this out now, that'll allow us to play out 3-drop on turn 3. But if we play out our Godless Shrine, we will be able to trigger Johnny's Pridemate. So, and then we will have to wait another turn or potentially draw an untapped source. I'm gonna gamble here, and we're gonna swing in here and pump a Johnny. With these colors, they could be playing Reclamation. We have 2 Tribunals in case of. We'll see what they do here. Maybe hold up a Growth Spiral or a Scorching Dragonfire. Okay, awesome. We drew an untapped land, so we're just going to play. Well, actually, that being said, Gideon Blackblade is probably just better to have out in this scenario. We're going to give our Ajani lifelink itself. If they want to Scorching Dragonfire it, that's fine. Okay, so potentially a Growth Spiral being held here. Okay, just a Shark Typhoon Cycle for 0, which is super okay. Not having Reclamation here is awesome. Oh, perfect. Okay, so now we know we're playing. We get to test out the Wander. Unfortunately, I only have one in this particular build. So we're bringing in the Wanderer. We're going to bring in Heliod's Intervention to instant speed, destroy the Wilderness Reclamations. Again, Light of Hope. Elspeth Conquers Death. We'll deal with Uro and Reclamation. I might want that, but I might not because I have Tribunal. I do want to interact at a cheaper cost. So they more than likely are playing Uros. So I might want a number of Apostle Purifying Light just to deal with them. So let's bring in at least 2. They're not a full graveyard style deck. So what we're going to cut, we're going to cut LC. It's not doing enough. Giant Killer will kill Big Shark tokens. Not that they need that to beat us to death. It does tap down Uro from gaining them life as well, so it's probably fine. They do have little sweeps, but I don't think the Savior is quite good enough in what we want to do. Planeswalkers are good here in this matchup. So if they're bringing in sweeps, I'm going to trim a couple Vito. We do just want to be aggressive. Actually, it might just be Vito. Yeah, they might go super removal heavy, so we're actually just going to cut them. I think he's just too cute and not doing enough, so that's fine. Okay, waiting on our opponent to decide here. So I'm thinking Flame Sweeps are going to be a big thing that's going to be brought in against us. Okay, if we can draw land, this is kind of the nuts opener. On the play, it would be phenomenal, but we are 100% keeping. If we can get going and get Heliod out before a Flame Sweep happens, then it could be really hard for our opponent to deal with our creatures. Okay, so that's fine. Let's play a Daxos out. Scorching Dragonfire, I'm assuming, happening here. They're going to have to decide what they want to hit. Okay, just a bounce. That's fine. Okay, Light of Hope is really good there. Now, we have to really think what we want to do here. If I just jam Heliod, I think I want to establish board presence before I get Heliod out, to be honest. Especially because we have attack triggers going on here. We're going to shock this in. Because they can go to 4, we're going to just cast Daxos and hold up Light of Hope. Okay, so this is fine. If they block, I could give it a 1/1 counter, but it is our way to deal with Reclamation, so I think I'm just going to try and play a little smart here and hold up this Light of Hope. Okay, so there is the reclamation, just like we thought. Destroy enchantment. Okay, so now because Daxos' ability says when a creature enters or dies we gain a life, it's too bad we didn't draw land there. We are going to play out Heliod, so anything we cast now will start triggering. Okay, that is also really good. A land would have been nice. Because I do need 2 white in case. So I imagine a shark token for 3. So let's go ahead then and play our speaker. It's possible I wanted to play Linden there and just attack with everything. Okay, that's annoying. Okay, well we can't Heliod's Intervention anyway, so there's no point in holding it. We might as well just play it out. That's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and block. There's no reason not to, and we're going to get to put a counter on this. They're going to have to burn another card out of their hand to deal with it. Okay, perfect. There's a land. Let's jam quick. That's fine, they're doing that now. We get 2 triggers, so we're gonna outsize them. Now all they can do is jump. So that was a mistake. Okay, just taking it. Let's get out of sweeping range. Hopefully fade a red for Storm's Wrath. I should have put it on the speaker. It looks like Storm Wrath potential here. Okay, that is not Storm Wrath. There's a Fry. It wouldn't have mattered anyways. That's fine. Okay, so they have 1 card in hand. I'm going to want to probably just tap things down at this point, so we're just going to go ahead and get some creatures on the battlefield, and hopefully we can overrun them. Okay, here's Hawk. Gives Heliod the ability... Oh no, that's still not enough. Hopefully they don't have another one. Okay, now we have to decide where we want to go with this. I'm going to put it on the Healer Hawk. Four, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what that play tells me is the last card in their hand is Expansion Explosion. Or a Big Shark, actually. So let's go and attack. How do I want to do this? Attack, attack. So they can still flash it in now. Interesting. No, they're just going to get to trade off here. Okay, really looking to draw another Linden here, or potentially a Soren, because we could be in trouble. Okay, so that's actually fine. We're just going to destroy that. And now that they played a spell out, they can't make a wolf token. So attacking there is good for us. Piece of, Okay. We're going to tap down this flyer. All these lands aren't really doing too good, but at least now we can activate that if we need. Okay, our giant killer now is going to be able to outblock these. So, 4-turn clock, here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, Arrow's kind of annoying. We did bring in answers for that, so we'll see if we draw any. And they're going to be able to cast it out. So we are kind of in trouble here. Okay, there's an Johnny's Pride Mate. 1, 2, 3, which is still not quite enough. Okay, so we can actually block and give something lifelink. When he goes to attacks, we're just going to tap down Uro, so they can't keep drawing cards. They have a lot more card advantage than us, so the longer this game goes, definitely the lot worse it is for us. Okay, at least now we can start attacking with the Heliod. Oh, that's annoying. So we can't do anything now. We're gonna have to tap Arrow down again. Sure. We have enough life total that we can actually take a little bit of a hit here. Again, our opponent's almost out of cards. Alright, well, they are kind of drawing really good though. Yeah, we're just gonna have to take this. Well, it's too bad. We definitely had this game under wraps. Our opponent drew what they needed to, but we're going to be on the play, so we're going to be super aggressive. Yeah. Well, that's the way it goes. Okay. Is there anything we want to change? Night Pack Ambusher is kind of annoying. So we might want these ECDs in. They might be better than Sorin. Especially because we don't have the Vito in. It's a little more high casting cost though. I'm going to trim the intervention and add a creature back in, I think. I want to just like go crazy right off the get-go. We'll be on the play. Well, this is kind of the hand we wanted, but we only have one land. If we draw land, this hand is super amazing. So I'm going to keep it. It's probably a bad keep. We're going to get the Healer's Hawk out as well. Really hoping to hit a land. No land. Okay, so if our opponent has any kind of sweep, we're just super in trouble. Okay, come on, opponent. Well, missing on these land drops here, I mean, the odds of drawing a land were pretty good. Yeah, I'm just going to concede here. There's no point in playing at that point. We just missed. Too many. It was a gamble. Probably shouldn't do things like that, but sometimes when you gamble, they just pay off. Okay, we get to play first. This is better. Healer Hawk into Pridemate. Who knew this deck could function so well on 2 lands? Okay, then playing black is fine for us. What are we getting rid of here? Probably just Gideon, I think. It's super aggressive, but Daxos helps trigger things. Them not blocking here makes me wonder if they're playing a Gray Merchant deck, mono black. I can't see why not. Okay, so let's gain a little bit of life. Now, we're actually going to play this out, even though they might be playing something that we can kill with it later. We're getting super close to being able to tap the speaker here, so let's just go ahead and do that. So as long as they don't kill this, next turn we're going to be able to start activating. That's fine. Also fine. Okay, so next to combat. Okay, our opponent cannot deal with the speaker, so... Well, he's mono black, so I imagine that this card's going to be great. That card's probably going to be great too. He's making us discard a lot. So Sorin is going to be good. So Alseed and the Savior don't block so well, they don't gain life, so we're going to cut those. I'm going to trim Gideon as well. And then we're going to cut a Vito and run it back like this. Okay, again, we have Healer Hawk into Pridemate. We have a little bit of fun here with Vito. I'm definitely keeping. This tapped land is a little unfortunate. Okay, that is actually really good. So if our opponent does not interact with our creatures right off the bat here, that's fine. I was going to say it could be a quick match. Okay, now we get our Heliod into play, which I don't know if our opponent can really deal with. We're just going to get rid of our tap land. That's not going to help us. Looks like another piece of removal coming in. Okay, so a lot of removal from our opponent here. Sorin is an excellent draw if we can keep something from being exiled. Okay, guess not. Our opponent's just hitting our hand hard here. They'd have to take Sorin. Sorin's just going to be able to tick up to allow us to play counters from Heliod. If he wants to attack with the Midnight Reaper, that's fine. We're not blocking. Healer Hawk's good. So I'm going to play Healer Hawk, and now I'm going to attack with this Vito. Okay, so our opponent wants to draw a card. That's fine. So now we can hold Vito back and just attack over top with the Hawk. Okay, well that's annoying. No blocks. Oh, they're gonna make us discard a card we were supposed to block there. That was my bad. Definitely making us discard that. Okay, so that was a big misplay. Okay, well, that's a great draw. Perfect. Okay, we're still in it. We're going to hold back on defense, and if he attacks, we can gain life. There's no point. Oh, Lily. Well, that's annoying. So he's going to want to uptick to make creatures, and then one more turn, and then make us sack. So this is actually kind of bad for us. So they get to draw some cards here. And I don't know how we get past this now. Yeah, they just have too much card advantage happening now. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to call it there. Knowing that they're playing that, then I do want these ECDs in for sure. So let's trim a Heliod. Bring both in. I'm going to trim a Vito. Okay. Hushbringer is actually pretty good in this matchup, so we're going to bring in the Hushbringers as well. And we're just going to cut Vito altogether. It's just not going to do enough for what we want to do. The fact that Vito doesn't have lifelink is a huge disadvantage to what we're trying to do with it. Yeah, again, like, this is a nice curve. As long as our opponent doesn't have a bunch of removal and disruption off the get-go, we're sitting really nice. Okay, so that allows me to curve out into Heliod as long as, again, they don't take it away from us. Okay, so that is fine. He's going to trade off here, but we're okay with that. We're out of cards though, and our opponent has a nice 6 cards in their hand. Yeah. Okay, Ardenvale's kind of nice because that at least is going to give us something to do here. Can't attack through that, unfortunately. Oh, perfect. You know what? There's some removal. Okay, so now we can attack into 1/1s. Again, looking to fade some removal. Seems like they're playing a lot. Okay, that's good for us. Okay, Healer's Hawk, I will make sure will block appropriately this time. That's fine. Okay, well, we're really going to be giving the guns here. We're at 26. We can start making 4/4 flyers. This game is over. I definitely don't want that. Yep. Let's pump up the Hawk a bit here. Ritual of Soot, hey? Our opponent playing pretty well. I don't know if they just drawn that or they're holding that, but cards like Rankle are going to be really rough for us now. Oh, wow. That was probably the best draw we could have hit. Okay, there's a Rankle. What are we going to sacrifice, though? I mean, Heliod can't attack unless we draw a creature, so I think we're going to have to actually sacrifice the Heliod. We can end step make a creature, so there's a Rankle. Are they going to draw a card or discard? It depends what's in their hand. Perfect. Awesome. Well, that feels good to win. Okay, let's take a look at the deck and just see if we want to change anything. So far, Vito isn't very impressive. Its stats are extremely weak, and it's a card that requires other things to be going well for you, for it to be good. So honestly, it's possible that this deck is a lot better without it. So for example, if we decide to cut Vito's, we can bring in better removal. The thing about black, even though it has really good removal, we're really reliant on trying to get our devotion for Heliod. So, you know, like I said, Vito and Sorin could definitely be cut from the deck. And yeah, let's continue with the theme though and play another round. Opponent goes first. Well, this is a hilarious hand. Is this the person we just played against? I'm going to mulligan this, even though I really want to keep... Okay, so this hand isn't much better, but this is a hand that we'll be able to see truly how good or bad Vito is. Okay, no, that's not the mono black player. Looking to hit a 2 or a 1 drop so we can curve out and apply pressure. A Johnny would be great. That works. Okay, if this is a reclamation deck, okay, so that's a good draw. I would like to get Gideon out, but I think Heliod here, as long as they don't have a Flame Sweep's going to feel bad. Mystical Dispute, hey? That's probably fine. Okay, no Reclamation here is good for us. Let's Gideon diversify our threats. They're incentivized to counter this. If they can't, then another Mystical Dispute. Okay, well, we're almost at the point of making 4/4s. We just need this to live one more turn. Okay, so that's definitely not living one more turn. So that kind of is too bad. Wow. And now they just get to kill our 1/1s too. Yep. Rewind is just so good in this format. Another Mystical Dispute, hey? Okay, there's the little healer hawk that could. Okay, shocking in there is kind of strange. I'm thinking potentially a shark token. Okay, that rewind. Kind of starting to annoy me. Oh, they're probably actually just going to activate this castle. Go ahead and attack. These Tribunal's not looking too great here. Yep. I mean, we have nothing else to do, so I mean, might as well, right? There's a Daxos. Okay, our opponent really digging deep and setting up. Looking probably for a Wilderness Reclamation. They might have an Expansion Explosion in their hand. If they do, be close to being game, I imagine. They can also just draw 3 cards and kill our Daxos if they want. So not looking too good for our hero, but... Oh, okay. We're definitely not dead yet. Okay, main deck Ambusher, good to know. Okay, so that's game. Alright, Wilderness Reclamation showing how good it is. We want the Wanderer, we want our ECDs, we want Light of Hope. Because he's already playing main deck Ambusher, I don't think I'm going to bring in the Intervention. We're going to cut Vito. And then we're going to cut L-Seed, and run it like that. Oh, all right. I imagine a lot of sweep effects being brought in against us, being on the play. If we can counter up quick enough, we might be okay. Okay, well, it's not great, but it's a keep. If we draw a 2-drop to curve out nicely, that would be great. If we don't hit anything we want to cast, or even another 1-drop, we can play Temple on 2, which is fine. There's a Healer Hawk, so that gives us exactly what we said we wanted. Okay, being on the play, we're going to get to Heliod, cast Heliod, and if they're only going to Scorching Dragonfire or something, then we can get at least 1 trigger. If we can get 2, we are going to be putting both. Okay, so just a Growth Spiral, that's fine. Even though we have the Pride Mate, we're just going to get Heliod out. Avoid a counter spell. I'd have to imagine our opponent took out their Mystical Disputes. Okay, we're going to put both on the Healer Hawk. There's the Blast Zone. Sure. Okay, so let's go. They weren't going to be able to attack anyways. Our opponent's going to blow up this Blast Zone, so this is actually fine. They're going to be down a source of mana. We're going to get to take care of this Reclamation. We have 2 Devotion out. This is Johnny's Pride Mate's going to be able to gain life from Heliod and pump both. Okay, there's a red mana. Hopefully avoid a Flame Sweep. Okay, so this is fine that this is all they're doing. We're still going to get to pump here. And now we are big enough to avoid most of the removal besides a Storm's Wrath. Could be playing Fries, so we do want to try and grow this again. Okay, that's a good draw. That also gives us a counter. Okay, so this is going to be fine. So we have a few options. We can gain 4 life, actually, which is going to be the best. Give it lifelink. Okay, now we have a big beater that can be swinging in. Just looking to fade Brazen Borrower. And if we don't draw anything of relevance, we're just going to be making 1/1 tokens every turn. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to want to go wide, so we're not going to be giving our Johnny lifelink anymore. At least not until we have enough mana to do both. There's a Wilderness Wreck. Okay, I'm not doing anything. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just enough to kill Johnny. Good game, hey? Attack. Might as well just keep gaining life. I mean, if their reaction is to shoot us in the face, we really want to gain life. If we can get our Wanderer out even, which I'm sure they haven't seen yet, we might catch them by surprise. That's if we'll ever be able to resolve it. They do have a lot of cards, so, and we're top deck mode. It's going to be extremely difficult. Okay, they didn't play land off that, so their hand is full of spells. And that's just game. Okay, let's take a final look here. So as fun as this deck can be, and as fun as the first Selesnya Counters deck was as well, so far what I'm seeing is they are more fun than competitive. My sideboard might not be tuned appropriately, my play patterns might be a little bit weak at times, but the overall power of what we are doing just cannot keep up with the top tier decks in the format. So moving forward, I probably wouldn't recommend this deck if you want to play in a competitive format, but I think if you just wanted to play for fun, then this deck is great. We didn't get to kill anybody with Vito, unfortunately. The card probably doesn't belong in the deck, or it just probably doesn't belong in any deck. Like I said, it's definitely a more fun card. It's a build-around card that requires too many other parts to be good. It's not good on its own, so therefore, generally in Magic, it's not good enough.